Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling 101, and we're going to do a little thing that I don't think I've ever done, and that is to talk a little bit about Raw. We're going to do a little Raw review. I'm actually did not watch, but I'm going to read the results that I have. And before we get started, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Shawn View Entertainment. He been messaging me back and forth on my YouTube on one of his videos, so I just figured I will give him a shout out and say hello, Shawn. And so now we get started to night 2 of the draft. Monday Night Raw. We get WWE Draft Night 2 edition of Raw opens up on the USA Network with a brief video package live from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. As Jimmy Smith welcomes us, he's joined at ringside by Corey Graves and Baron Saxton. They hype tonight's show and go over some of the picks made during Friday night. We go right to the ring, and out comes Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch to a big pop. Lynch raised the title in the air and heads to the ring as Mike Lomo does the introductions. We get a video package looking at the Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair was drafted to SmackDown on Friday, and how she laid out Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair after Banks won the main event over Belair. Flair then faced off with Lynch to end the show. They announced hype Banks versus Belair versus Lynch at Crown Jewels in Saudi Arabia. Fans chant Becky as she takes the mic. Becky announced that the man has come around to Raw, and fans pop. She says it feels pretty good to be back on the stage, but now she's about to make a bunch of executives in the back angry by jumping the gun, but she doesn't care because she does what she wants. Becky says the first draft pick is, fans chant her name as she prays to the crowd. Becky says this is her show now. She knows she's still holding the blue brand title, but let's not forget, she was the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, and technically she never lost that title. And the person holding it now, though, gone back and forth a lot, Becky said. Flair hasn't been the same since they last fought, but Becky has been better than ever, and Flair can't stand it. Becky says it's time to become Becky Two Belts again. The music interrupts, and out comes Flair. Graves, Corey basically says Becky is not officially on Raw just yet. Flair marches down to the ring but takes her time. Flair and Lynch face off as the fans pop. Flair says Becky was just Becky pre-show before Flair made her famous. Flair tells Becky to get over her infinite complex because no matter the brand, she will always look up to Flair. Flair says they clearly have some unfinished business, but the music interrupts, and out comes new Raw superstar Bianca Belair to a pop. Fans chant EST now. I will say this is a long opening segment. Usually it only lasts 5 to 10 minutes, but just by as much as there is to read, I would say it lasted quite long. I always believe that having an opening promo segment is not the way to start the show. I would say start off with a match, and then you can do a promo segment like after the match. That is always what I would think would be the best. Apparently, they don't agree because we hardly ever get an opening match. It's always a promo photo. BL takes the mic and says she has unfinished business with both of them. BL says they both must be threatened by her because they took cheap shots at her on Friday. BL says they aren't ready for her to become the EST of Raw because she goes here now. Flair says that was cute, but because the champions are talking. Fans chant Charlotte sucks now. BL said Flair is standing here, but technically she doesn't even go here. BL tells Becky to get her girl Flair. Flair says she's no one girl. She goes on and has words for Belair, who says she should be thanking her for paving the way. Becky stirs the pot and wonders what would happen if Belair and Flair ever wrestle. Flair says she only gives out opportunity, not charity. Belair gets ready for a fight. WWE officials Sonny Deville and Adam Pearce interrupt from the stage. Deville announced Flair versus Belair for the first time ever on tonight's Raw. Pearce announced Natalya and Tamina Snuka for the women's tag team champion Nikki Ash and Liv League with the titles on the line. But first, the United States title will be on the line. United States title match, Jeff Hardy versus Priest. I'm not going to read the entire match. That would take extremely long. The last paragraph, Hardy goes to the top as fans cheer him on. Hardy nails the Swanton Bomb, but he's a bit slow to make the cover. After landing somewhat awkwardly, Pearce kicks out and rolls Hardy right over for the pin to retain. Winner, Priest. After the match, Priest stands tall as his music hits. We go to replay. Pearce and Hardy shows each other's respect before Priest leaves. And we get another replay. I can't wait till my extra chair gets here. Sarah, I'm not even going to try to announce that last name, but it's an interview role. Interviews Hardy in the ring after the match. Asking about his draft pick to SmackDown, Hardy says he loves the fans and he's been at the highlight of highs and also has crashed back down to reality at times, but going to SmackDown might be the perfect time to see a different side of Jeff Hardy, a different ego. Hardy says for the next few weeks, he's still here on Raw and intends to make the best of it. The music interrupts and out comes the new Raw superstar, Austin Theory. Theory says he means no disrespect. He introduces himself and says his dream had come true. He got drafted to Raw and is now in the ring with Jeff Hardy. Theory talks about growing up a Hardy fan and being inspired by Hardy. Theory doesn't mean to fanboy, but he asks if he can take a selfie with Hardy. Hardy is down to take the pic, but Theory levels him with a cheap shot, then drops him again with the TKO finisher. Fans boo as Theory takes a selfie with Hardy on the mat. So I expect to see them two have a match before this finally takes effect. That would be a good way to send off Hardy, I guess. Even though you think Austin will probably win it just because he's the new guy on Raw, but that's probably what will be happening. Kevin Patrick is backstage with Raw Tag Team Champion Randy Orton and Little asking about the Crown Jewels title defense against Omos and AJ Styles. Orton looks annoyed as Little goes on a rant like usual. Orton appreciates Little's useless facts, but is glad he done talking. Orton says they have the chance to defend the title. Shut up, AJ and Omos, but that's not until Crown Jewels. Orton says tonight is a special night in Nashville, and he has a proposal for Omos. Orton says he thinks it's time for Omos to go one-on-one with the Legends Killer. Fan in the arena pops as Orton looks ahead. So, I guess the report that's been all over YouTube about Orton being injured and was going to be away from TV for a while was just that a rumor. Because if he's going to be in a match tonight, and if he still got that to defend the titles at Crown Jewel, unless they do a spot in the back later on this episode, then that doesn't sound like he's taking time off to me. So the next match is Bianca, Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooks. So again, I'm just going to skip towards the end, and Brooks walks over Baszler over in the corner, unloads as the referee warms her. Bianca Baszler just takes it all. Not exactly Jack's her partner, the UFC lady is who I'm talking about. I probably am pronouncing her last name wrong. She gets a 2 count, reverse into an arm breaker submission, and then the clutch for the win. So the UFC gal wins. After the match, UFC woman goes to Hope Brooks at ringside with a steel ring step, but Doudrop runs out to make the save. Baszler looks back and off and goes for a quick cheap shot as Doudrop checks on Brooks. Doudrop still was down and she heads to the back. Kevin Patrick is backstage with Paul Heyman and the Usos. Heyman brags on keeping the Usos on SmackDown, and Patrick brings up how Brock Lesnar says Heyman helped him remain a free agent last Friday night. The Usos stares Heyman down, and the interview ends awkwardly. Garza and Humberto whatever versus Mustafa Ali, Mesa, Gaza, and Humberto wins. After the match, Gaza and Kabuto goes to the floor to celebrate as Mason and Ali looks on from the ring. WWE Champion Big E immediately makes his way to the ring. Back from the break, we go back to the ring. Big E does a lot of talking. Drew comes out. Drew gets a match for the championship at, I believe it's Crown Jewels. Then Bobby Roode and Ziggler interrupts. Then they get put in a tag match. Of course, that's what Raw does. And, of course, McIntyre and E wins. There was a backstage segment with the 24/7 champion. Charlotte Flair backstage warming up. We go back to the ring, and out comes new Raw superstar Kevin Owens. Why are they not giving us the results of the draft on this Raw review? I do not know. The Street Profits is now going over to SmackDown. We see Montez and Ford and Angela Dawkins celebrating backstage. SmackDown selects the rightful Raiders to come over from Raw. We see Eric and Ivan backstage looking on. Raw picks Finn Balor to come over from SmackDown. Ricochet goes over to... Ricochet comes over to Raw. SmackDown Tag Team... Well, no. WWE Women's Tag Team title match. Natalya and Snuka versus Nikki and Ripley. And Ash, of course, and Ripley kept the belts. We go to the ring, and WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg is introduced. Goldberg marches to the ring as fans chant his name. Goldberg said Bobby Lashley had the audacity to say what he did to his son. Gage was a accident, but it wasn't. It was intentional. Goldberg says he invited Lashley to the ring tonight so he can break his neck. The music hits, and out comes Lashley in a suit. Lashley speaks from the stage and says, for the last time, what happened to Gage at SummerSlam was a misunderstanding, and Goldberg must be out of his mind if he thinks Lashley is going to risk his custom suit to come to the ring and beat Goldberg. But again, I'm not going to use the word it used. Lashley says some of us aren't still dressing like it's 1998. Lashley knows Goldberg is angry, but he needs to look at it from Lashley's point of view. Lashley says Goldberg has engaged in character assassination, blaming him for what happened to his son, and Goldberg owes him an apology. Lashley says he will give Goldberg a match at Crown Jewel, but under one condition: it's no holds barred. Goldberg drops to his knees and thanks Lashley. Lashley says Goldberg can bring his son along. Goldberg says no holds barred gives him a license to kill. Goldberg says Lashley thinks he's crazy, and he is. Goldberg says if Lashley wants an apology, he will give one to Lashley. Kids, when he leaves his lifeless body in the ring, gasping for air because there is one thing for sure: you're next, and you're dead. Goldberg looks on, staring at Lashley as his music hits, and fans start chanting his name. Lashley interrupts and says Goldberg, of all people, knows he can't kill the Almighty. Lashley says if Gage has the balls enough to show up and do what he did last time, this time it won't be in the misunderstanding. Lashley asked Goldberg what he would do if he were in the ring and someone jumped on his back. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin suddenly attack Goldberg from behind. He fights them off and delivers a big spear. Lashley smokes from the stage. The music starts back up as Goldberg hits the corner to pose. We see what happens earlier with Austin Theory and Jeff Hardy. The announcer hypes some of the Raw draft picks. So, Bill will be coming. Excuse me just a moment. Hello? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bobby's? Oh, okay. Yeah. I would tell let the guy he works for them. Yeah, so I gotta go. Alright. She's gonna be lucky if she don't get evicted. But alright, I gotta go. Bye. Oh, I apologize on that. But yeah, so it sounds like I guess Bill must have came to terms with another match this year because he only has 2 on his contract. And I would be shocked if they had Bill lose again, especially since there's not a title involved. And that's as much of a fan of Bill's that I was as a kid, I still don't think they need to let Bobby lose again. He's already lost like 3 big matches in a row. So here we go. The New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander is next. Go back to the ring, and out comes the New Day. Of course, the New Day is going to win. This is one of the final matches as a trios. After the match, the New Day celebrates until the music interrupts, and out comes the Street Profit. Fans chant for the smoke. The Street Profits congratulate the New Day on the win and on the new Netflix movie with The Undertaker. The Prophet announced that they are back on Raw and they want smoke. They greet the New Day in the middle of the ring and celebrate together. We get a video package of Mr. Finn Balor return to Raw. We go back to the ring as Raw Tag Team Champions. Make their way Randy Orton Little back to commercial. Just a promo. I'm not going to read it all. Orton is trying to get Omos to agree to a match. It doesn't look like it happened. AJ gets laid out. Orton music plays as he and Riddle looks on from the ramp. AJ gets hit with the RKO. That's what happened. Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair is next. And winner by DQ at Bianca Belair. So Lynch comes out and interferes. Then Bank comes out after the match and lays out Lynch in the middle of the ring as the music hits. Raw goes off the air with Bank celebrating as Lynch is laid out at her feet. So now let's pull up these draft picks. So let's do this like this. So there is 6 rounds of the draft on Raw. So round 1, Raw picks SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch comes over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos to stay on SmackDown. Raw picks Bobby Lashley to stay on Raw. SmackDown picks Sasha Banks to stay on SmackDown. Round 2, Raw picks Seth Rollins to come over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks Intercontinental Champion King Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Bogey to stay on SmackDown. Raw picks United States Champion Priest to stay on Raw. SmackDown picks Sheamus to come over from Raw. Round 3, Raw picks AJ Styles and The Moss to stay on the show. SmackDown picks Shayna Baszler to come over from Raw. Raw picks Kevin Owens to come over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks Xia Lin to come over from NXT. Round 4, Raw picks Montana Ford and Angela Dawkins to come over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks Eric and Ivan of the Viking Raiders to come from Raw. Raw picks Finn Balor to come over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks Ricochet to come over from Raw. Round 5, Raw picks Cross to stay on Raw. SmackDown picks Roberto Caladas, however that last name is spelled, and Angel Garza to come over from Raw. Raw picks Alexa Bliss to stay on Raw. SmackDown picks Cesaro to stay on SmackDown. Raw 6. Raw picks Carmella to come over from SmackDown. SmackDown picks Ridge Hollins to come over from NXT. Raw picks Olympic gold medalist Gabe Stevenson. And SmackDown picks Sami Zayn to stay on the show. So that is the list, and I'm fixing to pull up what happened on Raw Talk because they just said several more. So, several more moves, more 2021 draft picks were revealed during tonight's Raw Talk. Raw picks Dana Brooks, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode, Jackson Lyko Veer, Veer, Liv Morgan, Maya Yim, Tanika Snuka, Tegan Knox, Shelton Benjamin, and Sector Alexander and The Miz. SmackDown selects Jinder and Shocky, all three of the Jinder Mahal guys, Natalia and Blackheart. As noted, okay, so that SmackDown didn't get a whole lot on the Raw Talk. They got them 3, 4, 5, and Raw got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12 to about 6. So that's pretty much all we got as far as Raw tonight. I mean, it sounds like it was a decent show. I ain't going to say it was a spectacular show. I'm just doing a quick look through, see if there's anything I need to touch on here. Oh, Tessa Blanchard has finally announced where she's going to be going. She has signed on for the launch of Women of Wrestling. That was announced earlier today. So that'd be kind of, I hope they get a good TV deal where we can all watch them, but we'll see. Maybe if nothing else, they have like a YouTube or a Fight TV on the Fight app or something where it would be easy to access. But with that being said, this is Hardcore Wrestling 101. Keep the fights coming.